the key 7 traits of what makes a good real estate agent anywhere in the world. If you want to add to this, please bring me your comments below. But let me share what I believe are the 7 key traits to success as a real estate agent. The first one is honesty. You see, you are dealing with people's lives and financial preferences, whether they are a seller wanting to sell a property, they have confidential paperwork, they're going to be giving you and sharing with you confidential personal financial information if they have financial mortgages and loans to pay off. But equally, you're sitting with a buyer, and the buyer is going to be sharing a lot of information that is absolutely confidential. So can they trust you? And more to the point though, are you honest with everything you're declaring to your client about the properties you're going to see, the prices, as well as with the seller? Are you going to be offering the seller every single offer that comes to the table from your buyers? So it's very, very important to be honest, and a real estate agent that wants to rise to the top must have complete transparency in everything they do to make it a win-win. The second trait is the listening skills. And for some of you that may know me, this has definitely not been my strength in the past, and I've learned to get better and better at listening. Why? Because you see, when you sit and you listen to your client, you're listening to their needs. You're listening to why it is that they're sitting in front of you in the first place. So if people are wanting to sell a property, there's a reason they want to sell. Maybe they're going through a really awful divorce, or financially they have to pay back a loan very quickly and they're stressed. But you know, they are going to be sharing these needs with you, and you need to be making notes as a real estate agent, because that can be the make or break of a transaction deal. And the same goes for a buyer. You know, the buyer's going to sit with you, they're going to tell you, say that they want a balcony because they need to smoke, or maybe they have pets and they must have a ground floor property. You may find someone that says, we don't have a car, I need to be able to walk to school with my children, which means you know the proximity and the location to the schools, etc. So if you're one of these agents, or you're somebody that's not very good at listening and you do a lot of talking, then you're not going to identify the real needs of your client. And what does that mean? That means from your buyer's point of view, you're going to take them on a lot of unnecessary viewings, a lot of wasted time, which they don't want, and neither do you. And as a seller, you know, if you're not listening to your seller's needs, it may well be that you can't bring your seller a buyer in time, and you didn't identify how serious the timing was to close that deal. So listening has to be very, very key for somebody that wants to enter this industry. The third one, is integrity. And, you know, integrity goes hand in hand with honesty and transparency. But you should be working with each and every one of your clients as you would with your own family. Complete trust, complete transparency. You're helping them to have a win-win situation. You know, whatever feels right in your gut, you do. Whatever doesn't feel right, you don't do. You know, why would you be any different when you're at work to when you're at home with your loved ones? You know, in business, a lot of people feel that in the real estate industry, people are out to just make the money and get a transaction closed, and they don't really care about the human side of things. Well, if you're working with a true professional, there is complete integrity. And funnily enough, that is one of the reasons I joined Keller Williams Real Estate, because in our values and our culture, it's absolutely about integrity. Even working with your colleagues, you know, side by side, do you all trust each other? Do you help each other? And do you help each other to have a win-win result? The fourth one is empathy. To be empathetic. So, you know, you may be the best person on earth to do all the financials and work out the returns for your client, but if you don't have that human empathy, then it's not necessarily going to get you to the right conclusion, because, you know, you have clients here that are going to be in stressful situations. They owe money to the bank. They could be really, really emotional, breaking down if they're having to lose their absolute prized possession, home that they didn't want to lose. So when you're there sitting, you have to be empathetic to their needs and what they're going through. And it's no different for a buyer. You know, if a buyer is negotiating on a property and you're doing it for them, and they cannot bring that last 100,000 to the table, you've got to empathize with that as if it's your own money, because you are in the place of your client. You are there representing them. You are there as their ambassador. So you have to empathize with their needs. The fifth one is determination, it's grit, it's to keep on going no matter what. You have to be a determined person because the real estate industry is very, very tough. There's a lot of competition. There's a lot of properties out there. There's a lot of clients. And you've got to be someone very, very determined that you can do what it takes to get a result for your sellers if you're representing your sellers. And if you're representing your buyers, don't give up. When you meet a buyer for the first meeting, no one buys on the first viewing. And if anyone has bought with you on the very first viewing, count yourself extremely lucky. I've been in this industry nearly 15 years and I have had one transaction in the last 12 months, funny enough, from a lovely gentleman in Abu Dhabi through LinkedIn who did purchase within the first phone call, but that's so rare. So you've got to be determined and you've got to keep going and you've got to keep hustling because it may well be the 6th time that you phone your client in 3 weeks' time, or the 8th time, or the 12th time. I've got clients it's taken over a year and a half before they've finally concluded on a transaction. So if you're not a determined person, if you haven't got grit, if you don't keep going, you're not going to get through to your transactions and you're not going to earn your money. And don't forget, we're in a commission-only industry, so we don't earn if we don't close. The 6th trait of a typical realtor, someone that's going to be successful, is consistency. And this actually goes hand in hand with the last one, with determination, because you have to be disciplined and you have to keep going and you have to be consistent. It's a little bit like if you dedicate yourself to social media, are you on social media every single day or whenever your target audience is expecting you to be there? That's being consistent. And when you're consistent, people trust you, people get used to you. It's a habit, and habits bring you and bring us success in life. So be consistent. And if you're representing owners, and you've explained to your owners, I'm going to report to you every 3 days exactly what offers I'm getting, then do it. Be consistent. There's no point reporting to your owner and then not speaking to them for another 3 weeks because, you haven't managed their expectations and they're going to feel let down, and then you won't have come across as the realtor that will find them a win-win solution. So consistency. And the last trait, number 7, is the energy. And hopefully you're getting lots of energy out of this this YouTube video from me. But energy attracts energy. So clients are attracted to energy. They want to work with someone that's going to hustle for them, that's going to never give up, and you're going to have fun with, like you're spending a lot of time with your clients or with your agents. So I've just done 3 weeks of open houses with a client. We sat there having cups of tea in their house. If we hadn't enjoyed each other's company and there hadn't been energy, then that probably wouldn't have happened, and we probably wouldn't have had many open houses events. So make sure that you are somebody with energy. And if you don't have energy and you feel like you're somebody that doesn't know how to get the energy, then you need to look at your why in life, and that's a whole nother YouTube video, because everybody can be energized when we're really passionate about what we do. And being in the real estate industry, you have to be passionate, you have to love this, because there are some very hard days ahead. There are long hours, there are difficult clients, yes, maybe some of you watching. We love you, really. And there are difficult agents, don't get me wrong. So, you have to be energetic and you have to be friendly and be approachable. So these are my 7 key traits for those who are most successful in this industry. If you're looking to enter the real estate industry, it doesn't matter which country you are, I hope that this video has helped you and inspired you. Get in touch. Give me some comments below this video, and I would love to hear from you. Take care, and I'm off to see my brand new baby nephew. I'm so excited. Take care, everybody.